After the Alligator Beach incident, I thought the HOA would finally stop trying to meddle in my life. I was wrong. Their next audacious move involved building 58 homes on my property. That's right, 58 houses, packed cheek by jowl, right on land I had owned for decades. They claimed it was part of a community expansion, but I knew better. It was pure greed and an attempt to intimidate me into compliance. I first discovered their plan when survey markers appeared along the property line. Bulldozers and construction crews began moving in as if my consent were irrelevant. Karen, of course, was at the front of the operation, clipboard in hand, barking orders to anyone who would listen. I walked the property calmly, surveying the chaos. Trees uprooted, wildlife fleeing, and pristine land being carved into streets and foundations. Their arrogance was breathtaking. At first, I considered traditional remedies: court orders, cease and desist notices, police intervention. But then I realized something. These were people who didn't understand me or my methods. Over the years, I had prepared for exactly this kind of overreach. While they were building houses on my land, I had already engineered a countermeasure, a carefully calculated flooding system. My land had natural channels and reservoirs I had reinforced over the years, all controlled by me. It wasn't just water. It was leverage, precision, and poetic justice waiting to be unleashed. The construction crews didn't notice the warning signs until it was too late. I initiated a controlled release from the reservoirs, allowing water to flow strategically into the construction area. Streets turned into rivers, foundations filled with water, and heavy machinery ground to a halt. Panic erupted as workers scrambled to salvage equipment, while Karen and the HOA board stood frozen in disbelief. They had built their arrogance on the assumption that I would be powerless to stop them. They were wrong. The flooding wasn't indiscriminate. It was a calculated masterpiece. No one was harmed, but every house under construction was rendered uninhabitable, at least temporarily. Bulldozers were stuck, roads were submerged, and the smell of wet cement mixed with the rising mud, creating a surreal scene of chaos. Karen screamed at me, accusing me of criminal destruction, but her words fell flat. Every action I had taken was legal, carefully documented, and defensible in court. Neighbors watched in awe and relief. Many had endured years of HOA bullying, and this spectacle revealed just how reckless and overreaching Karen and her board had been. Social media lit up with images of flooded construction sites and the bewildered faces of the HOA team. 58 homes gone underwater became a viral story, with me quietly standing on my porch, surveying the scene with satisfaction. Legal battles followed, of course. The HOA tried to sue, claiming I had intentionally sabotaged construction. I presented my meticulous records, prior notices of illegal construction, documented warnings, and proof that my land's water channels had been there long before they ever broke ground. Every judge and engineer agreed. The HOA had overstepped their authority, and I had acted responsibly to protect my property. By the time the water receded, the 58 homes were unusable, and the HOA's credibility was in tatters. Karen avoided me entirely, while the construction crews quietly packed up and left. The lesson was clear. You cannot intimidate someone who understands strategy, control, and the law, and you certainly cannot mess with a person who is prepared for every eventuality. That evening, I walked along my property, the sun setting over a land that was mine and mine alone. Trees, lawns, and lakes remained untouched, while the flooded construction site stood as a testament to foresight and precision. Karen had learned, yet again, that bullying and overreach only result in one thing: consequences. My property, my control, and my peace were untouchable, and the HOA had just received a harsh, unforgettable lesson in humility.